I'm Benny Mills, and I'm a musician. I'm from South London, and I do loads of things. I just do whatever makes me feel happy. Just follow my gut instinct. There's loads, but I would say nothing that touches sort of making my album and the process of that, and like everybody behind it. It feels like spiritual. Ooh, I would say like more than ever, the music from this year that I've dropped has been like the most personal to me, and I've felt the most proud of, and I've like been in the most independent situation as more than I've ever been before, basically. So I would say like anything that dropped this year. Do you know what? More than ever, I've noticed that a lot of people kind of really curate their style, and I'm like the opposite. I don't look at any mood boards, and I don't really sort of look to other people for inspiration. I kind of just throw on whatever feels good to me, and I tend to have quite an eclectic wardrobe. Like, I'm not really scared to wear things. It's very mix and match, and that can be bad some days, but on other days it's quite, natural. So there was a project that I was working on in 2022, and it gave me the opportunity to bring 15 young musicians into basically what is one of the best music studios in the world. It's like where WizKid records and Skepta and everyone. So basically, we were in this studio, and I had the opportunity to give these 15 young musicians a month in the studio, basically. And it was like £750 a day. And like, it's ridiculous. But at the same time, what I saw was these 50 young musicians were all collaborating with each other. And not only that, so they're in the studio, and next door, Skrillex is like writing his album. He wanted to be in the room that we were in, but we booked it out for a whole month, so he couldn't. But what happened was, he kept coming into the room to like listen to his album on the big speakers that were in that room. And, he's playing songs with Don Toliver on it, and like Justin Bieber and Travis Scott, and like the kids are just in there, losing it, of course. And we're like watching how Skrillex works. So yeah, like, having all of those musicians in the studio, and then having like such big names in the music industry come together was really like my full circle moment. So. Yeah, in my friendship circle, like, I'm super lucky. Like, I've got so many creative friends, photographers, musicians, stylists and DJs, and it kind of means that like almost everywhere we go in the creative space, we always have somebody that is like a part of it. So we're kind of like the most equipped friendship group of all time. It is so beautiful. And then the one person that I would have, ooh, if I could choose dead or alive to have in my friendship circle. Feels like a cop-out to choose an alive person, but I would say Dave Chappelle. I feel like having someone as funny as Dave Chappelle around at all given times is like, you can't really beat that. Happens every month. Yeah, like, I have ADHD, so like, I feel like it's a constant circle of like working out how to feel comfortable creating all the time. And as a musician, like, I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm in a place in my life where I'm like feeling like I'm thriving and feeling like I'm capable of creating art. I would say one of the biggest things that I get as an artist is waking up one morning and like having my music sound completely different to how I expected it sounded. And you can go to the studio, be in the studio all night thinking you're making the best song ever, wake up in the morning, listen to the song, and it just sounds terrible to you. But often what you need to do in that space, or what I do in that space, is like go for a walk. I love walking. It doesn't even matter where I am, and kind of just like having an understanding that if I've made this piece of music, like I made it for a reason, and I felt something in that moment, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to come out, but it means that there's something behind it, and sort of kind of like having that reminder to myself is beautiful. Yeah, so going for a walk and then kind of like forcing myself to listen to it over and over again. I would say like the most fun project I'm working on is my album. But it's polarizing because it's fun and it's also difficult and it's always on my shoulders. But every moment that I've spent making it has been like, it's nuts. I learn more about myself whenever I'm working on the project. And it's kind of like that feeling of prioritizing yourself. Because I'm an artist that, like, I work with so many other people. And I often work on other people's projects. And I love that. But there's something so... It feels like self-care. When you're working on your own stuff, it's like, wow, like this can be all about me. And this can be from my perspective. And I do have the right to sort of say yes or no to anything that I want to say to you on this project. And, you know, like, I just really think that I enjoy putting in my personal money into making this project, and like I kind of don't have to depend on anyone else. It just feels freeing. Stay free, follow your gut and go outside.
And wear a coat.
And wear a coat.